The long-awaited follow-up to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is finally almost here. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is coming May 12th, 2023. Even as close as we are though, there's a lot that's still a mystery. Nintendo is notoriously secretive about its games before launch, and it seems especially inclined to keep this anticipated Zelda game under wraps. But here's everything we do know about Tears of the Kingdom. Of all its most closely guarded secrets, the plot of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is perhaps the one held tightest to Nintendo's proverbial chest. The game will serve as a direct sequel to its predecessor Breath of the Wild, which makes it the title set farthest in the series timeline. For a full rundown of how all the games in the franchise link to one another, check out our complete Zelda timeline video. But for now, here's a quick recap of the events of Breath of the Wild to get you caught up on the immediate story. 100 years before the start of Breath of the Wild, a prophecy tells of the return of Calamity Ganon, an evil that could take over the kingdom of Hyrule. In search of something powerful enough to face this threat, the Hylians unearth the Guardians and 4 divine beasts, ancient but also advanced technological creations that were, until then, lost to time. Champions from 4 of the kingdom's tribes were given the responsibility of piloting the divine beasts, while the Knight Link was tasked with protecting Princess Zelda, the only person capable of learning the magic needed to seal away Calamity Ganon. In an event known as the Great Calamity, Ganon is able to take control of the Guardians, render the divine beasts inert, and gravely wound Link. Zelda has her knight taken to the Shrine of Resurrection to heal, and uses her limited magical abilities to contain Ganon and herself in Hyrule Castle. Link awakens 100 years later and learns from the spirit of Hyrule's King Rhoam that Ganon has been gaining strength in the time since being sealed away and will soon be strong enough to break free from his prison. Link travels across the kingdom and frees the 4 divine beasts from the blights that rendered them inert. With the mechanical creatures in tow, piloted by the spirits of their champions, Link faces Ganon and with the help of Zelda is able to seal the ancient evil away before declaring that Hyrule will be rebuilt. Tears of the Kingdom looks to pick up before that can happen, however, with the return of Ganon, now in his humanoid form Ganondorf, who seemingly manages to separate Link and Zelda, forcing the Princess's Knight to forge a new quest to finding her and once again facing down the ancient, cyclical evil. Much like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom will take place in an open world, which is seemingly a heavily modified version of the Hyrule we experience in the first game. Like that title, players will be free to explore it at their leisure, utilizing several abilities to get around with. The first ability is Recall. This can be cast on an object, forcing it to rewind in time. The key usage of this ability allows the player to reverse time on parts of the game's new Sky Islands that have fallen to the ground below, allowing Link to hitch a ride on them to get to the aerial areas. We have also seen examples of Recall being used in combat, such as rewinding time on a boulder that has been rolled in an attempt to squish Link, only for it to roll backwards and squash the enemies that pushed it instead. The next abilities are Fuse and Ultra Hand. The former allows Link to take items from his inventory to combine them, such as attaching a rock to the end of a stick to create a makeshift hammer, a mushroom to a shield to create a smoke screen when it's hit, or an eyeball to an arrow to allow it to home in on a target. The latter ability takes Fuse to the next level by allowing Link to grab almost any inanimate object in the overworld and combining them to create large-scale contraptions, particularly for traversal. This can range from simple rafts composed of several logs and fans for propulsion to primitive robots that Link can wield like a mech in combat. The final new ability is Ascend. In Breath of the Wild, to get on top of any surface, Link would more often than not need to scale the side of it, expending stamina to do so and in turn risking a nasty fall. Tears of the Kingdom expedites this process in certain scenarios with Ascend, an ability that allows Link to jump through any ceiling to pop out the other side on top. This can be done in both a thin covering or something as substantial as the side of a mountain that Link is inside a cave at the base of, swimming through the rock till he reaches the plateau above. Beyond the new abilities, Tears of the Kingdom looks to expand on the core gameplay of Breath of the Wild. Weapon degradation is still a thing, although it seems as if fusing weapons with other objects restores their vitality. Link will have his trusty glider, which he's going to need even more in Tears of the Kingdom, as he is able to freefall from the Sky Islands to the land below at any time. And shield surfing seems to be getting a substantial upgrade, with trailers showing off Link grinding along rails. Development on Tears of the Kingdom began in 2017, the same year as the release of Breath of the Wild. The game stemmed from ideas that the team initially intended for use in Breath of the Wild's DLC, but series producer Eiji Aonuma claims that there were too many ideas they had to leave on the cutting room floor that they instead decided to use as the foundation of a new title. Breath of the Wild's game director Hidemura Fujibayashi is also returning to helm Tears of the Kingdom. The game was first shown off at E3 2019 and for years went under the name of the sequel to Breath of the Wild. In 2020, it was given a release window of 2022, however in March 2022, Nintendo released a video to announce the game would be delayed to 2023, and in September of that year, the title received its official name Tears of the Kingdom, along with the release date of May 12, 2023. In March 2023, during an extensive hands-on demonstration of the game's new abilities, Aonuma confirmed that development of the game had been completed. With development of the game complete, Tears of the Kingdom will hit its release date of May 12, 2023. It is the first Switch game from Nintendo to launch at $70, which the company has stated is not a blanket pricing for all its future titles. While the game is $10 more expensive than previously priced Nintendo titles, it will be available as a part of the Nintendo Switch Online Voucher program, which allows Switch Online subscribers to buy a $100 voucher that they can use to redeem 2 games. Full details at GameSpot.com, for which other games can also be redeemed via this process. There is a $130 collector's edition of the game that includes a physical copy of it, a steelbook case, poster, pin set, and art book. Nintendo also released several Tears of the Kingdom peripherals, including a $25 carrying case and a $75 Pro controller. A Tears of the Kingdom themed Switch OLED model is out now as well. The collector's edition, as well as the Switch OLED and accessories, are all subject to availability. And that's everything we know about Tears of the Kingdom before its release. While we don't know much about the game's plot, or if it will score a 10 out of 10 at GameSpot like its predecessor, we couldn't be more excited to return to Hyrule. Let us know your hype levels for Tears of the Kingdom in the comments below.